Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? Folks, my town where I live, you know, our personal living space, was once a rural, quiet, white cow town. There were perhaps 1-2% of people who weren't Europeans of some kind. Maybe that many. Now, the other day, your humble narrator took a perusal around the streets, and I noticed that there were more colored people on the street during the day than there were whites. Now, I'm wondering precisely what we're supposed to celebrate about that. You see, the thing is that when our town was a small white town, it was lawful. It was orderly. It was clean. The riffraff stayed to themselves and kept their activities to a recommended minimal level. Or the sheriff went down there and put his boot up their ass. Now, we are up to our neck in the utter filth of the world, and crime has went through the roof, theft, an old man's house next door that he died, the bank has gotten it back. I know that it has bums and junkies living in and out of it now. Lovely. You see, folks, we've been enriched. Now, it is absolutely beyond us how any person can look at this area and believe that between 1980 and now we have been enriched. Have they lost their mind? Now, what we have found is that most of these people who claim that we are enriched are carpetbagger scum who came from places like California and Oregon, Vermont. They're super liberals. They're snake huggers. These are the exact sorts of people who have told your humble narrator on more than one occasion that I can't possibly do as well as I do at gardening and all this natural, naturey type stuff because fascism. We cannot do good at naturey stuff, Gaia, Mother Gaia stuff, because fascism. If we had $1 for every time we have heard this off Facebook, we would not ever, ever worry for economic means again. We could fund the movement we want fully to victory. Okay. Seriously. If we could get 10 cents for every time one of these people says, but you garden so well, and they just can't understand how I don't like black people, how I don't like diversity, how it's our mind almost spins. We encounter this and we say to ourselves, this is insane. These people have fled diversity to some of the whitest areas in the world and now are trying to push diversity on us. I'll give you an example. Today on Facebook, there we are, we're reading away, and this lady promotes Ubuntu. Now, we had thought she had meant the operating system, so we suggested FreeBSD instead. It's original Unix, it's more pure, you can do more, the code's more flexible, right? Just lots of things. It's more of a set piece and just a lot of, okay, right? Right. Well, they actually had meant the philosophy of Ubuntu, and it's some garbage about some Swahili peaceful utopic matriarchic village, where everyone looks into each other and sees their worth. Ooh. And we asked the simple question of, where in Africa does anyone behave this way? And we listed off many places, Liberia, Chad, just all these civil wars. And then we asked the next question of why would we care about this African nonsense when we have a perfectly good functional culture in the West that's solid and whole and complete, and that goes all the way back to the Ice Age, and that is perfectly enriching on its own terms without any of this barbarous nonsense Swahili gibberish, you know? And then these people responded back, and to which we replied, I mean, are you seriously saying that you want to bring the way these Africans behave towards each other in Africa to my small town? Snake huggers. Snake huggers. God damn. These people seriously tried to maintain these signaling, phony, hypocrite bastards. They think that these cannibal refugees would be an enriching thing. Okay, that's because you see, I noticed, I looked at the maps. Where they live is up at the ritzy end of town where, I don't know, it's weird. It's like there's more police protection and less colored people. Now, where we live, oh, that's where the enrichment comes down to, you see. Now, the very fact is, folks, is I know I cannot be the only guy who gets tired of this. You know, yeah, you know what? I like conservationism. I like Mother Earth. I'm all about the outdoors and hiking and camping, but I'm also a nationalist and I'm also a racialist and an identitarianist. That's just what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I'm very outdoorsy and hillbilly, Chucky Chuck, back with nature-ish, you know? But I'm also fairly well readish. I mean, I don't understand why this. It's like they can't understand that people are not actually these like little bits on TV. Like, you know, I guess I just don't fit any of their parts. Is that it? Is that it? I'm, you know, we're not facilely sliding into different little categories for them. These people are so dim-witted they don't understand that we control fully who has any access to our labors, fully, and they and their fields get no say about it. It's it's really ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, see, I don't see some. See, this is the thing: is this town did not used to be like this, and about the last say 5 years, it's been super overran. And try to be a right wing, normal hillbilly dude and give away stuff on Facebook. We will write up free lettuce. Free lettuce. Okay. The response. What kind? The kind you don't have to pay for. You know? The kind you can get a whole shopping bag full of for free if you take it home and clean it and sort it out yourself. Right? Now, to most of y'all, that seems about like enough, doesn't it? Now, some of these folks, one lady told me that if the food was grown by a racist, there's a chance that. So that's why the crows hate me, man, because, you know, they're black and they get all the food, you know. It's easier to feed the crows than it is to feed people off Facebook. That's how muffed up these carpetbaggers have reality. Do you understand? They literally, you know, and they just don't know what to do when a fella like myself just says, "Hey, listen, you take that ninny nanny yak 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 guilt guilt niggin nagga wave your finger at me nonsense woman, and you take it back into your kitchen with your fucking children. You know, I'm an adult man, and I'll say whatever is lawfully allowed to say up until right the time I decide I don't wish to say it anymore." You know? Again, I can't be the only adult man who has this feeling like this. This is ridiculous. And this isn't against all women. Let me make this clear to you. There are a lot of women who are really cool, you know? There are even moderately left-wing dingbats that are pretty cool, you know? They don't every adult man in public like they're little children, you know? But everyone knows the ones I'm talking about. Those packs. You encounter them in packs, in groups of 5 and 6 and 9 and 10 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? And if you say one, like a picture comes up of, I'm fat, I'm proud, I'm big, I'm this, it's like you're disgusting, go lose some weight. Okay? But if you say that, or if we say that, or if anyone says that, down comes the wrath of the social justice warriors. You know? I mean, it's getting to be ridiculous, folks. To the point where, again, these sustainable city fools who wanted free food, do you understand? I was willing to give them free leftovers so they could feed it to the goats and the chickens and whatever, right? If a Nazi helps feed the chickens, these people are this insane. They literally tried to make us basically try to make us agree that Swahili Ubuntu nonsense. We had to agree to that like as some kind of spiritual guidepost, or we weren't good enough to give them food. It's like you do understand that we have many other options in food free giveaways, like the local charity, 2 churches down the street, the food shelter down here, right? I mean, they're not exactly, you know, right? I mean, lettuce is easy to grow and it uses up our time. It's so silly that these carpetbagger people think that they should be able to browbeat us and force us to give them our charity, our goodwill, our benefits at the same time. Like, oh, I see. You know, it truly is. It it's angering, really. I mean, I know I don't seem angry, but it is angering. It's sort of like, who are you that I should even have to address your first world problems, really? You know, I mean, they are first world problems. You know, I mean, can you imagine anyone in, say, any of the Boers in South Africa right now? If I would say, "Hi guys, I got a whole bunch of lettuce. Would you like to be stuffing it in their face? They're starving," or some of the poor people in the slums of Argentina who are pretty white looking to me. They look pretty German and Italian, but they look pretty poor. Or them poor people up in Appalachia. Do you think they'd be asking me dumb questions like where exactly the lettuce came from? Or do you think they'd be stuffing it into their face? And make it clear. Only thing that had been done is they come pick it up, even get it out of the ground form and put it in the bag form. So basically, they just have to stop at my fence out here, call me right when they was there, and pick it up. Hand to God.